Let me show you how to change your tires and tubes on your e-bike. Compared to a normal bicycle, changing the rear wheel, however, is a bit more complicated. And for this job, you will most likely need size 19 and size 10 wrench, as well as a couple of other tools. And first we are going to need to flip over our bike, and I'm going to adjust my panel so I actually do not squish it. And next we are going to need to disconnect our motor from our battery. So on your bicycle find your connector, and again we are simply going to pull it apart. So this is essentially what mine looks like. Also, you see I actually have a couple of zip ties which I actually need to unclip over here. So we're going to need to basically replace them after that. Obviously make sure not to nip in your cable. Then let's take this guard away, and next I highly suggest you to remove your chain. So simply lift up the derailleur and remove the chain, so this will make working on the bike much easier. And on both sides of your bike you will find these nuts essentially that we need to remove, which essentially hold the wheel on the bike. Also, I highly suggest you to actually maybe take a picture of how it looks like on this bike, because we need to assemble them back in the same way. And let's unscrew this. So I'm not even going to take it off completely, but you can if you need to. And on the other side as well, let's simply unscrew this stuff. Again, I'm not even going to take it off completely, as for most bikes there is actually no need, so you can simply leave it like this, so we actually have plenty of gaps there. And compared to a regular bicycle on an e-bike, as you see, this rod which actually holds our wheel on the frame actually is square. So what this allows us to do is we can simply take size 10 or even maybe 11. If you do not have 10, we can simply like put our wrench like this on it, and we can twist it a bit. So if your wheel has problems actually coming off, then again with one hand you are going to take basically pull the wheel away, while with the other hand simply turn it like either direction, essentially till the wheel actually releases and comes apart. And as you see, if I actually try to remove my wheel, basically nothing happens, but if I actually twist this a bit, I can kind of release this and see it actually comes out very easily. And next I'm going to simply pull my derailleur away so I can actually lift it out. By the way, when you purchase your tires, make sure they're actually compatible with e-bikes. So this is a sign that you should see on your tire. By the way, if you need very good quality yet actually very affordable e-bike tires, then I can highly suggest these Continental Race King tires. I will leave a link in the description to the cheapest Amazon listing where you can get these. Personally, I paid only 25 euros for a pair of two of them, so they're very inexpensive, yet we actually get very decent brand on it. And also the rolling resistance and grip also is very good, so I have actually used them on other bikes as well, so I can highly recommend them. Then we're simply going to unscrew basically our cap and actually release the air from our tire. I'm going to simply deflate it fully. And next let's remove the tire from the rim, so you can either use tire levers or you can also make your own. So you see what I have done here, so they work just as fine. So again, you can simply jump like this inside and simply like go all around. Maybe you can leave one inside, so simply go all the way around to release the tire from the rim. Okay, and then as you can see, we can pretty much remove this thing here, and it should come apart very easily, kind of. Okay, and job done essentially. Also make sure not to damage your valve while you actually remove this. And when replacing your tube, also make sure to put in basically a tiny bit of air in it so it's not completely flat. Also in the description I'll leave a link where you can get decent quality tubes for around $5. When installing your new tire, also pay attention to the rotation direction. As you can see, this will be printed on pretty much every tire. And to install your tire, first, without even putting in your tube, simply basically install it all the way around on your first edge. And then let's flip it over. And next we are simply going to insert our tube all over here. So first start with this basically wall area. Once you have your tube inside, also make sure to verify that it's not twisted anywhere or kinked or stuff like that. So we want it very evenly. And then we're simply going to close this. So again, use your tire levers probably to help you. And let's start closing with the area where we have our valve. Again, simply insert tire all over. And you can also use your levers if you need. I think I can even manage this without anything, as you can see, very easy. And before installing the wheel on our bike, let's pump up the tire. Also, while pumping for the first time, verify that everything is okay. Before installing the wheel back, verify that the washers are in their correct places and pull down your derailleur over here. We are going to attempt to seat the sprocket straight onto the chain over here while pulling this down. Also observe your brake calipers here, so your brake disc actually goes straight inside there. So again, simply pull down this, so the derailleur, and also basically we're going to simply sit it on the chain. We're going to get this out of the way. Also again, look at your brake calipers if it's okay, and then simply wiggle it inside. And to get back the main rod properly in the frame, we most likely again will need help from this 10mm wrench. So again, we're simply going to put it like this and simply twist it around till it essentially falls inside. Let's see, if I simply turn this a bit, it kind of falls into this place. Let's also put our chain back, so simply pull it like this, so we actually have slack, and then put on your sprocket over here, so it's ready. Let's fasten these nuts. So simply first fasten to the touch. We are going to actually fasten them properly with a wrench after we actually flip over the bike. Again, make sure everything is okay and all the washers are in their place. So again, simply first with simply your fingers. Let's connect our motor back. As you see, I actually have these arrows over here on these connectors, so simply align them and push them all the way in till they make actually solid contact. And next we are going to need to take some zip ties and actually basically fasten this just as it actually used to be. And clip off the remains. For the front tire, it's obviously much easier. So if you have quick release, simply pull this apart and you can easily take your tire out without any problems, unlike on the rear. Let's flip our bike back up. Don't forget to properly tighten your nuts over here. Again, we actually want to do this process only when the bike is upright, as we want the gravity to basically push properly inside. So we actually do not want to tighten while the bike is actually upside down. Okay, and then replace your protector caps on the other side as well. And job done. Good luck everyone. I hope this helps.